This is Mike and C, and this is another episode of You Can't Handle the Truth. Thank you for entertaining us with your presence. Hit the like button, follow, comment, subscribe, do all those good things. And we're here again to bring out some information through our experience to the public. I guess whether you like it or you don't like it. But we have some topics today.
Yeah, well, I think our main theme today for this episode is going to be why people hate attorneys.
Right.
So there's a lot going on right now in the world. I mean, there always is, but right now specifically, one of the cases that comes to mind because I'm a Real Housewives franchise fan.
Well, no.
And there's actually a lot going on with them. One of the housewives just got indicted for basically fraud. She's going to jail for like 6.5 years. So, but anyway, what I wanted is
6.5 or 6.5, right?
6.5 years.
Mathematically.
Yeah. Jen Shaw, she's a Salt Lake City housewife, which is a new franchise. But I digress. I wanted to talk more about something more a little bit closer to home because one of the Beverly Hills housewives, Erica Jane is her stage name. Erica Girardi is her real name. And she's married to one of the most prominent attorneys in California. And a couple years ago, they realized that this man basically embezzled hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of client funds. And these were accident victims of like major airplane crashes. And I think there was another major case where, they got these huge settlements for these clients. And they kind of told them basically, oh, we'll invest it for you. We'll put it in a fund for you. And it sounds like that the clients never got their money. So I don't know how to fill all of that out. It's not, I think some of that's is like tight-lipped, essentially.
Not all of it all is.
Yeah, but it's just unbelievable to me. Like, I feel like the Florida bar regulates us and our trust account so substantially and significantly. It's just crazy to me that a huge name firm that does huge, big personal injury cases get away with something like that.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it was brought to a head, right?
Well,
eventually.
Well, I mean, years and years later. I mean, there's evidence I think now coming out that he did this even like 15 years ago.
Got away with it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is like it's a massive firm. He's not a solo practitioner. He was the like original Aaron Brockovich attorney. Like he's like the seminal plaintiff's attorney that everybody kind of thinks about. Like he brought plaintiff's attorneys like in, and he went and did this, and it's just like that just gives so much distrust.
So much distrust. Is the Aaron Brockovich movie a reason why people hate attorneys? That might be another question too. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe it's the reason why some people like attorneys. I don't know. I think going back to Shakespearean times, people have always wanted to kill the attorneys off first, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the comments. So one of those, I don't know, it was the Hamlet. I forgot which one it was.
Oh, well, I think that, we're necessary evil, right? Like then
when you need us,
and I think the biggest reason is because, especially like in the personal injury realm,
right?
We're going up against all these massive multi-billion-dollar corporations who've got millions and millions of dollars to spend on lobbyists. They have politicians in their pocket. They get all these rules and laws, and then ultimately the case law in their favor that we have to then combat and push up against. And it's funny because we have like everybody kind of talks bad about Morgan and Morgan, but ultimately we have him in our backyard and he's got all these resources in terms of like a plaintiff's firm. But lo and behold, now we have a really conservative 6th DCA that just planted itself in the middle of our state, in the middle of Morgan country. And so it's like we as personal injury attorneys, I think, to need to work together a little bit more. We don't need to be so poking fun at one another.
Right, like putting a billboard on every section of the interstate and you're driving down the road. I mean, how do you pick? Who do you decide? I mean, you look the one that looks better. I mean, if that's the case, I should have put a billboard up like 15 years ago when I looked better. But I mean, I don't know how do you decide? You drive down the road and it's like, I want this one, no, this one, I'll get this one, I'll get that one. But I mean, you're right. I think that I'm not trying to poke fun at what you're saying. I think it's more of a, if it's a cause, then it needs to be more deal. But it ultimately, there's a business as well. There's people trying to make money.
There's people trying to make
put
money.
Food on the table for their families.
But ultimately, we need to collaborate like these insurance companies if we want to create some sort of change and make the laws better for consumers.
Right.
So,
No,
but you
that's a
know,
great
so
topic.
so I think that's probably a huge reason why people like hate attorneys, because we seem really greedy.
To feed off the economy too, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of what they know. But it's like the whole thing. It's like you hate your attorney until, well, sometimes you need them. And unfortunately, we don't sell ice cream. I mean, when people come to see us, there's something that happened. There's a something, and it's usually a dispute, and they're usually not happy.
right.
So, you know, we're not selling mint chocolate chip. We're selling a solution to your problem.
Right.
That's really what we do. That we sell our time.
Right.
And so, yeah.
And you only come to an attorney if you've got a problem. Right. Like they're, you're not just willy nilly, like,
Unless you do adoption law. Well, that's a problem too.
you still have a problem. You need an attorney to adopt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the issue is we are a necessary evil.
Right.
But there are people who give us a really bad name.
Yep.
And there are people there's some attorneys who make like mistakes, and then there's some attorneys who are criminals.
Right.
And actually, it's kind of sad how many are criminal.
And you learn in kindergarten not to take someone else's money. Everything you need to know in life, I think you can learn in kindergarten. I mean, don't take someone else's money, but we have unscrupulous people that go out and maybe they have a little bit of intelligence and they get their degrees and they kind of do what they do.
I mean,
if you can get away with it, I guess that's what they look at. I mean, you got away with it for years. I mean, it's like,
but you eventually,
you're not supposed to do that.
But eventually everybody gets caught. And for me, like my bar license, I mean, how do you put a price tag on it? Like what amount would be worth it enough to be a fugitive for life? Because that's what there's a Tampa attorney who years ago, he stole all the trust money in his trust account, and he's hiding in Cuba, right?
Right. Yeah. And just so the public knows, I mean, the trust account is there. It's an account that, anytime you get monies that belong partially or fully to a client, that has to go into the trust account, so it's some of it could be our money, but if it's partly a client's money, we have to put it in a trust account. We have to give them an accounting. And, so if you have any issues with anybody where you have monies that belong to you that are in a trust account, make sure you get an accounting, just like you would with anything. You want to know where that money has gone, and it's, as long as it's going to the right people, it's fine.
Well,
who's getting paid for what?
It's funny because there are a ton of stories about why people get suspended, why people get disbarred, why people, get public reprimand, slaps on the wrist, things like that. That's something the Florida Bar publishes, which is really interesting. So if you are interested in us, we get kind of the bird's eye view of it. We get all of the information when it happens, or at least a little tidbit of it to tell you what these attorneys are, potentially doing. If you're interested in a segment on that about, who got disbarred this week, we would, be happy to share that with you if that's something you'd be interested in. But I wanted to read off kind of some of the things that are relevant here. This one law firm down in Fort Myers, and specifically one of the partners got disbarred, or she's on interim probation, because after Hurricane Ian, they set up basically a double wide. And it had it made it sound like they were a federal government emergency rescue, like a FEMA rescue.
Like a FEMA. Yeah.
And so they were trying to get people to sign up for their property claims as looking like they were FEMA. She only got probation.
Yeah, that seems like a more, she sounds like she got off pretty well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
She must have had a good attorney.
Yeah. Right. So they actually said they were a federal agency. And isn't that how would they charge? Was it federal, or is it?
Let's see. So this
we learn as we go.
This particular attorney, she's a partner at a Fort Myers law firm.
Okay.
So she basically, she's a lawyer whose law license was suspended after setting up a mobile claim center near Fort Myers.
Okay.
And now she is able to resume practice under the terms of the agreement she reached with the Florida Bar.
Right. And again, we're all for, I guess, rehabbing people, right? I mean, isn't that what A.D. Winehouse talked about? But I mean, at the end of the day, you can't, there's got to be a line somewhere that says, if you do this, you're out.
Well, yeah.
You're out.
Because it's disparaging for the rest of us.
Right.
It makes people not trust attorneys. And the fact that they're allowed to go back and practice is crazy. And the fact that this law firm wasn't, I don't see anything where the law firm's gotten into trouble.
Right.
She didn't do this on her own fruition.
Right.
She did it under the, guise of having
trying to make some
be within a partnership. It looks like a multi-partnership. She's not even a named partner.
Yeah.
And so she was the sacrificial lamb, I guess is what you call them, right?
Well.
So, but yeah, when there are firms out there, and when there are firms out there that exist like this, that do things like this, like, why would anybody trust them? Why would anybody trust attorneys?
I mean, it goes so far back that I don't know if we're ever going to be. The profession is never going to fully repair just by the nature of what we do. But if you want to hire one, you want to hire one that you trust. That's for anybody. You got some people not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like C. But if you got to like who's representing you. You need to have trust. And a lot of that involves communication, right? Like, make sure that you're actually talking to the lawyer, because don't you want to know what the lawyer looks like and what the lawyer is going to do for you? Yeah.
Well, and I think a huge...
No offense, I wasn't trying to...
No, I think a huge thing here, by what you said, like getting attorneys you can trust. Right. I think what's important is attorneys who are willing to put themselves out on these platforms and allow themselves to be open to public commentary, public, people could take this and post it on their own thing and do whatever they want with it, right? We're allowing ourselves to come on here. That means we don't have anything to hide. That means we are trustworthy. That means we do right by our clients. That means we are here to be a resource for you, and we don't have anything to hide behind. So because we do everything above board and we actually care about our clients. And so just so everyone knows, there are good attorneys out there, and there are good attorneys who care.
Yeah. And, so just like with anything, anybody you hire, you want to have some level of trust that they're going to do the job that you came to see them to do. On my intake form, there's a question I always like. It says, ideally, what outcome would you like to see from this? And it's amazing to me how many times I don't know what I want to see from this. Well, then why are you, what are you here for? And it's not a sarcastic question. It's like, what do you want a lawyer to do for you? But those are the questions that you want to think about before you come in, because you do need to know what you want why are you coming in to see a lawyer? Are you coming in to see it because you saw some advertisement where someone said they got some money? Or are you coming in for something that you want them to solve for you? Because we're kind of like, glorified problem solvers.
Yeah. Right. No, we definitely are. Yeah. I feel like a therapist more than an attorney most of the time.
I mean, you listen a lot.
Yeah.
So it's very confidential. It's very, you getting people in a vulnerable position.
Yeah. Well, I think being trustworthy is one of the most important qualities an attorney can have, and that's what we try and show that we have whenever we talk to clients. We want people to know that. But if you like this, if you like this direction, if you want to hear stuff, please like, comment, share. Let us know what you're interested in the comments. Subscribe to us, and until next time.
And just come talk to us. You don't have to believe what we're saying. Just come talk to us. Maybe you'll believe it then, right?
Yeah. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.